Hello, my name is Matthew Krause, and I am a business systems consultant with Opal Business Solutions. And today we'll be reviewing the cash flow setup in Business Central. The first thing you will want to do is make sure you're on the home page of Business Central. Then you want to go to your universal search bar in the top right and type in chart cash flows. And you'll see something called chart of cash flow accounts. You'll want to go here first, and you'll understand why as we go through the cash flow setup. So I'll click on this list, and you'll see a list of cash flow accounts that are currently created in this default Cronus Business Central company. Now you're able to create new ones very easily, just selecting new, and you can see that it'll give you the options of a name or the number, the name, what kind of account type, whether it's an entry account, a heading account, a total account, beginning total or ending total account. It'll also allow you to add a totaling row. So this allows you to, when this cash flow account would be used in cash flow forecast, it would only include accounts that you have the range in here for. So in this totaling value here, it's allowing you to choose from the multiple different cash flow accounts cards. So you can have a range, you could have a certain range between them, looking at one cash flow. You can also integrate the cash flow account card with your general ledger. If you want to do that, you can choose whether it's a balance account, a budget account, or both. And then you can put a filter on a specific general ledger account or a range of general ledger accounts. And then if you have a range of general ledger accounts, it would include all of the accounts, all their totals would be included into the cash flow forecast summary. So for an example, I will put a test. This will be a test cash flow account. We will leave it as an entry account. As for totaling, I think we're just going to leave that blank. But you can see here, if you scroll down, they already added the test cash flow account seconds after I simply added it as a new entry, as Business Central is always saving your work automatically. I would like to include a general ledger integration account. And if I look at our general ledger chart of accounts, I'm going to include, let's say, if we're doing cash flow, we should probably, just for example, let's do financial and fixed assets. So we'll do 13,100 to 13,500. And if you want to do a range, you'll need to put two dots in between the two different accounts for the general ledger chart of accounts. And this will include the balances, the balance totals for all of these accounts for this cash flow account card. So I'm going to go back, and we can see that on this main screen, each chart or cash flow account card is present. And you can see that the range that I had put on the new one I just created is there as a general account filter. Now you can also view some of the kind of the impact behind the scenes on which these are looking for. So this liquid funds cash flow account card has a GL account filter of this range. And if I click on view, or not view, if I click on, I think I just if I just click on it and then go to related account entries, you can see all the entries that exist for this cash flow account. So we can see here, if I maximize this screen, that we have 3 default cash flow accounts where these documents were all included because all of these accounts were within the range specified by the cash flow account card. And so when these accounts were being included in those documents, they were also in posted. There was also an entry made to the cash flow side. So these were recorded, and you can always go back and view them. We're going to go back onto this and then back onto this. So now you have a bit of an idea of some of these entries, these cash flow account cards, and how they work and how you can set them up. So now that we have an idea of that, we can go back to our universal search bar and go to cash flow setup. And we'll go to here and we'll maximize this screen. You can see the first thing is the update frequency. So how often do you want your cash flows to be updated? Generally, it's set to weekly, but you could also do daily, depending on which preference you would like. If we look at the accounts section below, you can see that each section has a cash flow account number. These are those same cash flow account cards that we just looked at. So underneath of each of these, you know that some of them have general ledger accounts, or some of them are just their own cash flow account cards kept separate from the general ledger. You can also look at your various options. And if we hit show details, you can go back to the cash flow account card screen and make any changes you need to. So I'm gonna go back here, and each one is assigned here by default, but these can also be changed as needed. If we scroll down a bit, you can see numbering for cash flow forecast and also some relevant tax information. Now, certain cash flows, maybe you want to run your cash flows on a quarterly basis, or with the taxes being calculated then, or monthly. Generally, each company is going to have a slightly different want for this taxable period. But the benefit of Business Central is it allows you to be flexible and choose different types. You can choose your account type here, whether it's a vendor account or a general ledger account, and then you can assign it just as easily. So if I just scroll through here, I'll just put this tax asset count assigned here. And now lastly here, we have this Azure AI tab. So this tab is more used for the cash flow forecast. When you want to set this up and you want to use the built-in Azure AI inside of Business Central to predict your forecast, you can set up some of the stuff here. So you can set up the period type of how it's going to be calculated, how many historical periods, how many future periods it's going to calculate. You could add some specific API URLs depending on with your Azure environment. And if you wish to enable it, you would have to hit the radio button here and agree to the terms and services condition for using the Azure AI in Business Central. I believe that covers all of our cash flow setup. And next time we will go over the cash flow forecasting, and we can see some of this in action. So I thank you for participating, and I will see you soon.